Hello, welcome to this EAS online governor training module. In this module, we're going to be looking at the curriculum reform process in Wales, in particular related to the successful futures review that was completed by Graham Donaldson and made important recommendations about the development of the new national curriculum for Wales. So in part one, we're going to be considering what progress has been made to date, and how this process is actually working across both the EAS region and nationally across Wales. My name is James Kent. I'm area lead for wider curriculum in the EAS, and it's my strategic responsibility to ensure support for our pioneer schools as they develop the curriculum, but also to ensure that all schools and all stakeholders are aware of the process and are able to input into the process to ensure that we have a fully engaged workforce. So, in terms of this unit, we're going to be considering the following questions. Firstly, what is curriculum reform and successful futures? Second question will be, how is the new curriculum for Wales being developed by pioneer schools? This will include a consideration of who the pioneer schools are and what their role is. What support is available for all schools across the region? What are the timescales for the reform? So when is the curriculum going to be available for schools to start to deliver? What does this mean for your school in particular, whether or not you are a pioneer school or whether you're currently not part of the pioneer network? And then what are the implications for you as a governor, and what are the key questions that you may wish to ask of your governing body in school? So the first question that we'll attempt to answer is, what is the curriculum reform process and what is successful futures? Well, the Welsh Government set out their vision for their new curriculum as part of a document called A Curriculum for Wales, A Curriculum for Life. Within that document, there are a number of different threads. There are 8 sort of key building blocks, if you like, that you can see there in the blue segments of the circle on your screen. So the first segment here says embedding the 4 purposes. Now, the 4 purposes sit in the triangle in the centre of the reform process. The 4 purposes are effectively the key drivers for the full process, not just the curriculum reform. And effectively, the 4 purposes there: the ambitious, capable learners, enterprising, creative contributors, ethical, informed citizens, and healthy, confident individuals are really the Welsh Government's vision for how learners should be once they've passed through the education system. And they're unpacked in more detail in the curriculum documentation in terms of what those definitions actually mean. So there's the 4 purposes. The second building block is creating the new curriculum, and that's really going to be the key focus for this training module. Extending and promoting learning experiences, developing our cross-curriculum responsibilities. So our cross-curriculum responsibilities are literacy, numeracy, and digital competence. And we'll talk briefly about digital competence as we move through the presentation. The 5th building block is the enabling the Welsh language to thrive. Developing a new assessment and evaluation framework is building block 6. Building the capacity of all practitioners and leaders. That's the responsibility of our professional learning pioneer schools and the work that we're doing as a region around professional learning. And building block 8, which is to establish a constructive and robust accountability system with which to measure the impact of the rest of this work that's being done as part of the reform programme. So Successful Futures itself is a review document that's available online, which was written by Graham Donaldson. As it suggests, it's an independent review of curriculum and assessment arrangements in Wales. It was published a few years ago in February 2015. And importantly, it makes 68 recommendations about how curriculum assessment arrangements in Wales should change over the next few years, up until September 2021, when this all becomes the new national curriculum for all schools in Wales. So to look at that in a little bit more detail, in terms of the curriculum experienced by learners in schools, here is what is changing, or will be changing as the curriculum evolves. So you can see there again the 4 purposes of the curriculum are stated there at the top. Those are the purposes that the curriculum is trying to support, so that to ensure that our learners become ambitious, capable, enterprising, creative, ethical, informed, and healthy, confident. So those 4 purposes will be delivered through the 6 areas of learning and experience. So the 6 areas of learning and experience are maths and numeracy, languages, literacy, communication, expressive arts, humanities, health, well-being, science and technology. So you'll instantly recognise there that the national curriculum as it currently stands, with a larger number of individual disciplines, those disciplines have been reduced into areas of learning. And the key reason why Graham Donaldson decided to take that decision was because it felt that the existing national curriculum is too prescriptive, and there is too much breadth of content without enabling the learners to have a deep enough understanding of these concepts and develop their learning. So as an example, in humanities, this effectively will now consist of aspects of history, geography, religious education, and a new sort of subject area, if you like, social studies, which considers aspects of politics, sociology, and so on. But a much smaller number of areas of learning, with the view to try and develop the depth of understanding. Also then within that, there are the 3 cross-curricular skills, which I mentioned on the previous slide, these being digital competence, the development of learners' digital skills, numeracy and literacy, which obviously already exist as part of the literacy and numeracy framework, which is being reviewed as part of this curriculum reform process. In addition to these cross-curricular skills, there are also the wider skills, and those wider skills are the skills that are currently assessed through the Welsh Baccalaureate, and those skills are critical thinking and problem solving, personal effectiveness, creativity and innovation, and planning and organisation.